Look, at this point, if anyone tells you Stray Kids' rap line is a bad rap line, or really, especially Jisung and Changbin, if they're bad rappers, like they either don't know what they're talking about, or they're insecure about their faves that, you know, Stray Kids might be as good, or if not better than their faves. So those are the only two reasons I could think that calling this rap line bad, because if you didn't know, I'm sure you do if you're on this video, Stray Kids in general released a 32-bar verse. I think it was a 32-bar verse, right? A 32-bar verse with all four of the rappers, Felix, Hyunjin, Changbin, and Jisung, right? And then Jisung also released a new rap in an unreleased Stray Kids player song, right? Let's look at these. I want to go over them. They're freaking cool. I want to give you my opinion, because the 32-bar verse I'm talking about, right? It's this song by an artist, a Western artist named Lil Durk. This song was huge. It dropped 5 months ago. It already has over 100 million views. Huge song. If you haven't heard it, sounds like this. So the original is Lil Durk and J. Cole, but then Lil Durk released a bunch of remixes with a few other artists instead of J. Cole, and one of them was just Stray Kids as a whole. There's a vocal part in two. If you're more of a vocal fan of Stray Kids, there's a part with the vocalist at the front of the song. But obviously, I'm a rap channel. I always talk about the raps, and here is the flow. If you've never seen it, I'm gonna full screen it when I talk about it because it's hard to see. You can go listen to this yourself with it lined up with the song. You can hear how the flow looks while you're listening to it to see what I'm talking about. So it'll be linked down in the description. It's on my second channel. Go subscribe if you want to see cool rap flows and stuff. And you know, I usually do girl group rant videos because I have a lot of rants about girl groups that I don't usually get to do on my main channel because they never rap. Anyway, let's talk about this. Then we'll get into the Want So Bad. I'm just gonna full screen this and say goodbye to my face really quick so I can show you guys what exactly is going on. Basically, I kind of mislabeled it a bit. These first 4 bars up here, hopefully you can see my mouse a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4 are all Changbin, and then it goes into Hyunjin 2, 3, 4, back to Changbin 1, 2, 3, 4 into Felix, starting here 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Jisung starts on beat 4 of 16 and then has 8 bars in a row, which is really weird that he has 8 bars in a row and everyone else is split up by 4 bars. But you know, still cool, still cool. Jisung gets his 8 bars in a row all the way to Hyunjin here, who then has 4 bars. Him and Felix meet together on beat 3 and rap at the same time, which is kind of cool. And then Felix finishes it off with the final 4 bars. Pretty cool overall. The coolest parts, though, I'm going to talk about everything else. I'll save the best for last. Hyunjin and Felix right here, rapping on top of each other. I think more rap lines should do this more because this is kind of cool. It's nothing super impressive. It's just something you don't hear that often in rap lines in K-pop. It's almost like, you know, first rapper, here are your 4 bars. Second rapper, here are your 4 bars, right? It's like you have the one and then the other. Or this one, it's like they blend together. They're not rapping at the same time. Felix's second syllable is right before Hyunjin's second syllable. So my left hand is Felix, my right hand is Hyunjin. Felix is doing the left hand while Hyunjin is doing the right hand. It's kind of cool, okay? But that's my point. So basically, to go further from there, that part's kind of cool. You don't hear that too often in K-pop. Hyunjin has a pretty fun overall style in this. It is second part right here, right? Just some fun triplets with like the same rhyme at the end, some triplet-y stuff into some 16th stuff. Jisung, if you haven't heard his part, has a really unique delivery, and it goes to how awesome his deliveries are. I know it's not everyone's favorite sound, but he throws in this auto-tune right here. Right? Yeah, it's like really like I can't do it. It's like super heavy auto-tune. But then you keep going, right? And just listen. It's like super heavy auto-tune. It must have been so fun for him to make. It's just some sugar rhythms or sugar flows is what we call it. The da 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 da. Sugar flow. This is sugar flow right here. Felix just had a nice solid triplet verse. Nothing too special with Felix other than him blending with Hyunjin. He just did triplets down here, and up here he did triplets as well. He was triplet king on this, okay? Let's go into the coolest part, because it's Changbin. It's my boy here. I want to talk about Changbin. This is so cool, because what Changbin is doing up here, right? I have this B2 as 16ths moving into a 6/8 feel triplet, which is a really cool sound, because it makes it sound like it slows down. I guess it's speed up, because this sounds like it's 8th notes. Da, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da, da, right? It sounds like it's 8th notes because it's accenting every other triplet. You're used to hearing triplets, da, 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 da. But at the same pace, he's doing So it sounds like he's doing faster triplets, which would be a 6/8 feel eighth note is what it sounds like he's doing, but it's in 4/4, right? He goes into this blending triplets with 16th notes. It's this really weird bar 3. It's almost like he couldn't resist like, you know, making this like really weird diddly triplets. It's really weird, but it's kind of cool. It's like diddly triplets, I would call it. And then he goes into just like offbeat 6/8 feel. What? He's like doing the offbeat eighth note of a 6/8 feel triplet. So if you just listen to this part, and it's all offbeat eighth notes, but it's the offbeat eighth note of a different time signature. Is basically what this is. It's so weird, okay? I don't know. It's weird. He kind of does a second syllable here, but it's very soft. I didn't count it as a syllable. I just kind of counted it as an extension off of the first one. It's like boya, boya, and it's like, it could be like boya chit, but but chit. It almost comes off like it's just 3 syllables to me. But chit. So take that as you will. But then Changbin has a second part down here, which is just as cool. Mainly for one part, because it's mainly just eighth notes down here, right? And it's mainly this offbeat triplet in measure 12. Really weird. Such a cool rhythm right there that it's not too common. And the offbeat triplet is also in that 6/8 feel. He's the only one who does the 6/8 feel in this song too, which makes it really unique. It stands out amongst like Felix's triplets that come up right after it. Because that's more like stereotypical triplets. Where Changbin, most of his triplets are 6/8 feel. Think of it like it's really like what Bobby does a lot recently. Bobby's doing a lot of 6/8 feel recently. It's pretty cool. But if this was the only thing, it would be super impressive. I'd be like, oh my god, Changbin and Jisung doing cool things and writing cool verses for Hyunjin and Felix too. I would still be mind blown, but that isn't all. Now we get a fanboy over Jisung, or fangirl, or we just get to freak out over Jisung, because look at this. This is Jisung's verse in the new Stray Kids Player song, "Want So Bad." And or is it Replay? No, it's Player. Go check out the original song if you haven't heard it yet. This transcription you can find on our community member, Yura, their channel, which is Frenzy. I just kind of hit it. Frenzy. You can go check out the transcription yourself if you want to hear this. But I think I can play this one, actually. So this one's pretty damn cool. Let me play this real quick. Yeah, so it's really cool overall. Feel free to go check out the original song. But basically, Jisung's mixing 3 different themes here in his flow scheme. He has this shuffle into straight feel, which is the first like 8 bars or so. He's mixing shuffle and straight. Then in here, he has this like these dotted 16ths, but they're meant to still feel like the same thing. This is still like a shuffle. This is the most complex one. It's like a straight, shuffle, straight, shuffle. All within just 2 beats is the feel that it gives. It's still not the exact same thing as what he was doing before, but it gives that impression, which is really cool. After finishing it off with these last few bars of shuffle to straight, he then he flow changes and flips into an offbeat 8th note flow, essentially, which sounds really cool. It's so cool. Offbeat's some of my favorites, like, you know, and recently my personal favorite style of flow. Jisung is like, sets it up here, right? And this is a pretty common offbeat flow when rappers tend to do it, which isn't the most common thing in K-pop, but when K-pop rappers do it, it's usually about 2 offbeat 8th notes. Right? That sounds like it's pretty doable. It sounds familiar. But then he goes into it again, and you expect him to do the same thing, right? You expect to go da 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 da. You expect it to be the same thing, but he doesn't do the same thing. He diverts your expectations and does it for longer, which gives it such a cool feeling. Da 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 da. So it feels like it goes over the bar. It doesn't go over the bar because then he brings it back to 1 with 16th. Right here. Goes back into 16th, but it's still like a really cool feeling I'll play one more time with the volume raised a little bit. It's like it goes really fast where you expect it to end. You expect it to end on 4, but he keeps going all the way to 1, basically. Does a little back shadowing, I guess, back to the shuffle here, and then he just finishes it off with one more flow change into a gallop 16th pattern. A gallop flow would be like like it's a horse gallop, right? That's what Jisung's doing with this gallop right here, which is like what this is right here. He's doing this gallop flow in the straight 16ths, and then going back and forth between the two basically until he finishes it off with just a really strong 16th run at the end. Pretty cool. It's so many like cool little flow things that show what Jisung can do as well, because it's not just Changbin that does cool flows nowadays in Stray Kids. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the longer little analysis video. I enjoy talking about this stuff, so if you enjoy just be fanboying over these cool flows and everything and trying to explain it as simple as possible, let me know. I could do these more often, but if you prefer the shorter ones where I just get straight to the point, don't you know, go too big, let me know as well. I can make that happen. But yeah, before we end, again, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I got some shout outs to make because I have a Patreon and all these amazing people get to support me, and I couldn't be more grateful for it, and I couldn't be making this stuff without them supporting me. So thank you all so much. And let me give a little shout out. If you want to be on this shout out as well as get a bunch of other benefits like reactions on Patreon and seeing videos like this one early, feel free to check out my Patreon, link in the description. But let's get to shouting out. Shout out to Swiss, Just a Penguin, Laura Fernandez, Pixel, Arston, Griffin Chiavo, Miyu's Ribbon, Seyway, Soft, Zakaner Wookbook, Austin, Blaha, Caitlin Gervin, Errol, Farhan, Fleur, Hannah, Novalite, Primislav Polinsky, Rai Valtini, and Vanny Yan, as well as all of the extra VOD tier viewers as well. I appreciate all of you so much, and I hope to see everyone back here in the next video on rapping in K-pop and stuff. Subscribe. Bye, everyone.